Good morning. I'm gonna wait for a few minutes. Good morning. I'm Dr. Maryam, the inventor of BLAfit appliance. And I'm here today alone because Natalie had to be at some offices to get her license for her car, so she won't be joining us. So I was thinking what we should talk about today is basically a history behind BLAfit appliance. What do I do and how did I come up with the idea of a facial exercising device? First of all, I'm a general dentist. For those of you that have no idea who is this doctor, I practiced for 30 years and my 30 years of practice has been limited and focused in patients with temporomandibular joint issues, facial pain, people with sleep apnea, and doing braces and orthopedic corrections for children and adults. So for 30 years, I worked in the area of the face, did not practice general dentistry, and my focus has been taking patients from the pain, opening the airway, making sure patients have beautiful broad arches so that they can breathe better, so functional bite. And let me just dive in a little bit into that because I think that's a very important topic to talk to public, which means when you have crowding, your teeth are crowded, and you go to an orthodontist, they usually do some measurement, and based on how much room is your palate or your mandibular arch has, they plan your orthodontic treatment. In our practice for 30 years, what we've learned is a different path than general path that our Western orthodontic takes you to. What we do is a more European mindset and holistic mindset where if a child or an adult has crowding, we have to first fix the architect of the jaw, make the jaw, and if the chin is back, bring it forward, make the bite functional so that the patient can breathe easier through their nose, so that their airway is opened up back of their throat, and then line up the teeth. Once you do those first fundamental steps of expansion and alignment, then everything else falls into the place, and we will create beautiful broad smiles, but functional human beings, meaning that the kid is not forward head posture, the kid is not mouth breathing. We will teach them and open their air pipe so that they can sleep better, so they don't suffer from headaches or migraines or TMJ issues. So that's our foundation of the last 30 years. Coming from that aspect, I realized that when I create these beautiful smiles and they're functional, why is it that a 17-year-old sitting on my table, their facial muscles is sagging? Why is it that the right and left are not balanced? So then I start thinking there must be, when I start thinking, I already knew that our westernized culture does not give us the answer for our health. I knew that I had to always, for my own two children, advocate their health, what is the best food for them, how to eliminate packaged food that had all the processed trash. So I had to learn those nutritional facts during the last 20 some years while I was a mother, and I didn't want to feed my kids things that were harmful. So I always had the holistic vision. But then I start questioning, why are we needing injections much faster or much more because our face is asymmetrical, or our face is sagging, or our facelift needs to be done earlier, and now surgeons are advocating doing it in their early 40s, late 30s. What's going on? My mom is about to be 72 years old, and she has beautiful face. Her face is so beautiful and tight, and her muscles, when you touch it, it's so nicely, like you could feel face. You don't feel flop. It's the muscles are tight, and she never wore makeup, and she uses olive oil, really good olive oil. When she cooks salad, she puts a little bit, puts it on her face. She's the type that when she's juicing lemon, she would just put some of that juice, puts it in her face. She doesn't use any product that are expensive. But then why is her face so tight? Is that I start thinking that my mom is chewing nuts, raw food, and she's really got, knock on the wood, all her teeth, and she does a lot of chewing. And what is missing in our culture here is we're running around eating fast and juicing our food, so we're not really sitting and chewing. And most of the things that we end up chewing are very soft, liquid, or overcooked processed food, or even if we cook at home, we overcook things where there's just not enough effort to chew. So we're not using our teeth for what they were intended. So once the teeth doesn't touch, we're not activating the muscles, so we're sagging faster. So I knew if we're going to live in this society, there must be a way to balance the muscles. So that's where the invention of BLAfit appliance came a few years ago. I talked to an aircraft engineer, my husband who's a physician, and we sat together and designed it where we'd be able to activate the muscles that we're not activating during the day and pump them a few times during the day to keep those muscles intact and alert and lifted so they don't sag so fast. So that's where the BLAfit appliance invention came. For those of you who always ask why did it came, and it also, because it's a isometric exercise, it will balance the right and left muscles. So we now use this for kids that have imbalanced facial muscles. We also use it for every patient that comes to my practice. I treat them for their TMJ. They must be doing BLAfit appliance exercises because it's like a physical therapy for the house. Inexpensive physical therapy. Not all of us have insurances that we can get physical therapy, but even if you do, BLAfit is just an addition to your beautiful physical therapist that will be able to do all you need to do for your facial, myofascial releases and so forth. So that's where BLAfit appliance came in. Now originally it came for just symmetrical, beautifying, lifting, activating the lip muscles, and because most of the exercises are done with the lips, all of them are done through your lips. So now we're working the lip muscles more. So we learn that the lip muscle mass increases by 14% after 1 month of 1 minute a day. So that's a huge amount of lifting where our lips are being injected now. And what if we knew that there's something that works it out and you don't have to put anything unnatural and cause trauma? And I'm not against fillers and injections, but I'm just talking about, this is for those of you that are seeking a more holistic approach to facelift, a more holistic approach for facial health. Then as we were using the BLAfit appliance in our trials, a lot of these that I'm talking about I already knew, but I didn't want to advocate it because we didn't have a study behind it. We learned the female study group that we used to measure the lip muscle mass, after they were done after a month, when we interviewed them, we learned that they are saying that their jaw clicking is reduced, and one of them said that they're not snoring as much. Other than facial sculpting that it happened, and we have all the before and after in our website at BLAfit.com. We have a lot of them there. They all showed that their overall health and well-being and nervous system has calmed down. Okay, so Then we looked into it a little bit more detail, and we learned that when we are doing the vertical exercise, we're moving the lower jaw forward while we're using the lip muscle. So moving the lower jaw forward is basically opening the neurovasculature, the nerve, artery, and vessels that pass in that little region. By moving the jaw forward, we're opening that pathway and putting the nervous system and our brain into a more calm parasympathetic nervous system. By moving that jaw forward, we're also opening that neurovasculature blood supply. So people that have temporal headaches or migraines, that reduces. And then we added the breath work to this workout, and then now we made it a mindful yoga for the face, where when you do even 3 repetitions of the vertical exercise, which is my favorite exercise, you kind of feel like you're not in earth. You feel really high meaning that you feel elevated in your mental state, and you feel really relaxed, and the mass of oxygen to the brain just makes you more alert but at a relaxed state. So meaning that if you're during the work and you're like stuck at one task and you don't know how to overcome that or what to do for next step, take a moment, put the BLA in your mouth, do 3-4 repetition, and you'll see how when you come down, your mind is in a very nice clarity state of parasympathetic nervous system. So does a lot of stuff, and that's why we learned that in order for us to be able to connect with our customers, teach them how to best use it, learn about them, what it is that they need, we need to do a one-to-one training. So we added the one-to-one training with either me or Natalie, who's missing here, or another staff member as part of your sales. So when you buy a BLAfit, you email us. There's a little card inside that you look, and it says congratulations for your one-to-one training, and you email us, and you go to this app and you sign up your one-to-one connection, and we come in and we'll meet over Zoom and go over all we say it's 5 minutes, but usually it really takes about 15 to 20 minutes of our time, making sure you do it correctly, making sure that we're listening to you. If you have TMJ, if it is your face that you want to lift, if it's one side of your face. So then I sometimes come in to just look at your face and tell Natalie or tell you what I would do if I were you. Remember that I've worked with facial muscles, craniofacial pain, the nerves in that area, 30 years. I know your facial muscles and blood supply in your face really well. So for me to be able to look at and give you an advice about what is it that I would do if I were you, I think that's very valuable, and that should just tell you something about our company. It's a small company coming from my orthodontic office in Manhattan Beach, California, and it's coming to you with lots of love and care. And I never wanted you to be a person that buys and invests $85 and not get 5-6 times fold from that. So I'm about having a product that it's a win-win situation where you will get it, you will benefit, it's durable, it's not something that you'll be able to use and dump it out. I want you to understand, when I work with you and you learn how to do it correctly, you will see the benefit. I wish you had one, and if you have one, take it out and we'll do it together so that you could feel what I'm talking about. It's very hard to explain what it makes you feel after you use it, other than the physical beauty. NG viewers, 2 minutes. Hi, thank you for the tips. Of course. I'm not comfortable being one-to-one with my camera because usually Natalie's my right hand, but I hope I'm doing good talking alone, but it's just gonna come out. So I'm gonna do the vertical exercise. Now the vertical exercise is supposed to be done for about maybe 30 seconds a day. Think about it, 30 seconds a day. But that's what our study shows, 30 seconds vertical, 30-second horizontal exercise. That means 1 minute a day, you will get 14% increase after 1 month of lip muscle mass. My recommendation is to do 1 minute when you wake up in the morning and 1 minute just before you're going to bed. Just getting your whole system in a really calm Zen mode, meditative mode before you go to the bed. It will make a huge difference in your dreaming, in the oxygen that goes to your brain, and calming your whole system. This is my favorite exercise, the vertical exercise. The vertical exercise plumps up the upper and the lower lip, makes your jawline sharp and nice, tightens your jowl all the way to your neck, also lifts your cheekbones. So now these are 4 physical activity and improvement that will happen. But let me tell you what happens mentally. When we're doing the vertical exercise, we're bringing the upper and lower lip together. So we're working the upper lip muscles, the lower lip muscle. This is like, by the way, this is a weight that is built into the resistant band. So when you're moving these arms, you're weightlifting. It has a resistance. So when you're moving your upper and lower lip together, you're actually activating your upper lip, lower lip. And we learned that if you shift your jaw forward, then what we're doing is at the same time we're bringing the upper and lower lip together, we're going to shift this jaw forward and open the blood supply, nerve and artery to the side of our skull and rush the blood there, so that for those of us that get temporal headaches and are in sympathetic drive all day long, it will calm us down. Now the breath work, it's up to you. I want you to breathe in one of the movements and breathe out in the other. As you're opening it up again, let the resistant arm, so we bring them together actively, and then shifting the jaw forward. But when we're releasing the arms, I want the arms to slowly move your mouth open. I don't want you to be at all in charge of the opening. Let the arm open you to the maximum opening that I calculated for somebody with a normal jaw movement. Now, if you have TMJ or locked jaw, you may want to, before using it, meet with me, so then I could at least on Zoom see how locked you are. This should be able to unlock you if it's done correctly. This should reduce your clicking if it's done correctly, because we use it in the office for patients that have the disc, it just moves in and out, and we are able to tighten that disc back. So enough talk, let me do some action. So we're going to move the upper and lower lip together and then shift the jaw forward. Take a deep breath. This is how I'm accustomed to do it. You can do the breath work however you're comfortable. And then we're gonna let the mouth open by the arm on its own. Stretch as far as it can stretch your jaw so that your jaw feels good. All right, here we go. Before I go forward, you always want to hold on the resistant arm, because for beginners, the mouth is not strong and it moves side to side, just in order for let it to glide side to side. So that was 3 cycles or 4 cycles, I can't remember. This part of my brain and my side of my skull, all of this feels, I feel like I'm not on the ground. Here it feels so much oxygen came to my brain. This morning I had a rough morning getting ready to come here, so I didn't take a moment to just be relaxed. This allowed me now to be in a relaxed state. The physical, I feel my lips are like rolled. It may not look rolled, but it feels rolled because it's the muscle was working out and pumping, just kind of like when you pump your bicep. I feel tightness in my neck, and I felt the cheek lifting. So I just turned 50, just January I turned 55, so I'll be 56 this coming year. And I see my skin tone, I don't have any makeup on today, none, just some serum before I came, vitamin C serum, and some lipstick. When I look at my pictures, when I got married 25 years ago, we're gonna have our anniversary this year, my skin feels more lifted now than before. At that time I was younger and it was natural beauty. I've never been into makeup. I like the lipstick. Once a while I like to do my eyelash curling and then just a bit of eyeliner, but then maybe if I have time, just a bit blush. There's no foundation, there's nothing else. I don't even put skin care. My skincare is not any cream. It's only serum that I create. I'm a biochemist, that I put in my skin before when I wake up and when I go to sleep. And I keep my skin cleansed with any cleanser that is SLS free. So it's not like I'm spending tons of money in my skin, but this is incredible. 3 repetition took me probably not even 30 seconds. And the opening with the air out, it just took all my stress out. I picture taking in oxygen, taking in positive affirmation, positive energy while I'm doing the workout. When I release out the CO2, the toxic gas that increases our acidity in our body, out. Like people that do Kundalini yoga, you do a lot of breathe out. Why is it a good yoga? Because you're taking more CO2 out than you take oxygen in. It does 2 things. One, it makes your whole system alkaline, less acid. But the second thing is every C bond of the carbon dioxide that you're releasing out, you're only taking in O2, which does not have the carbon bond, so it's a less heavy than what we get out. And where does that C bond comes from? Comes from either the food we just ate or the fat that it's taking from our glucose or whatever fat cells we have. So the more breathe out we do, the more we lose fat. So I totally believe if you don't even do workout and you sit down and you just, while you're doing your work, not only you'll be calm, but also you're basically digesting the food you just ate. And if you're fasting, you're actually fat burning by breathing out more than you're taking in. There's a TED talk on that. A doctor proved that science, that breathing out, runners are skinny because they do. There's a lot of breathing out. So breathing out alone, it just makes your whole system in a very basic alkaline state. So I like to breathe my outing when I'm opening my mouth, because then I can breathe more out than when I breathe in. So that's how I keep myself in shape. So you're actually increasing your metabolic rate by just breathing out, taking that moment and doing a yoga. Breathe. Just staying with your breath work alone. Put your mind away from all the trash that's out there, all the toxic talks, all the people that are around you that bring your energy down. Take the moment and just put your energy back. Now, if you didn't want to buy a BLA, I'm okay with it, as long as during your daily activity and you're stressed, just take a moment and take a breathe in. And then just that releases all the toxic energy from your system and puts you in a very, very good state of zen, where you're not in high cortisol. You're bringing your cortisol level down, and you're just more in a healing parasympathetic nervous system. I think I've said enough. I'm going to put my glasses on, since aging does not take the eyesight back. Thank you for everybody listening and sticking with me throughout this whole morning talk. I love you guys, and hopefully next week, I'm going to not be here next week. Unfortunately, my sister-in-law has some ailment and I have to take her to chemotherapy. So I won't be here in the morning, but Natalie's going to be with you in the morning. But I'll be with you the following week. Save your questions, share our page. We have 100% guarantee you're getting something that's durable, made in USA, we package it here. Just think about that. It comes from a California lab that makes the BLAfit appliance. We do the quality control, package it here, and with a personal note comes to you. For those that from Amazon, unfortunately we can't package it to you. They're sending it from Amazon, but we package those little boxes for you with our own hands and care and love. I wish you the best Monday ever, and have a fantastic, blessed day. Bye-bye.